Welcome everyone to what is hopefully gonna be a new Minecraft Realm survival series, right? So I haven't really seen that many Minecraft Bedrock realms out there, so I decided my friends, we have one. Might as well showcase it to the people. I'm very proud of everything we've built, and I'm very proud of what all of my friends have built. So might as well make a video out of it, right? So here it is. Right now, I'm just walking around in the spawn chunks. Everything is purely survival, except for one thing, which is we turned off mob griefing and we enabled player teleportation. It just makes it so much easier for everyone when you can teleport players around. And for people like me who really enjoy building stuff, it is very annoying to see things blow it up. I really don't mind dying in this game. I really just mind my builds getting destroyed, and I'm sure a lot of you can understand that, right? So we won't be getting achievements, but I can promise you everything was gathered in survival mode. So here we go. Let's begin. So I'm really hoping to make this sort of over multiple episodes and sort of showcase our progress week by week, show off builds that I think are really good, collaborate with my friends and put that on the videos, or just funny moments that happen. I really want this to be a fun, collaborative experience with me and all my friends, and with anyone who's watching. It's the way we consume media. But we started the server a little while before the Nether update came along, and I asked around, and no one really wanted to switch over to a new world for the Nether update, so we sort of continued on this one. But I think once the cave update comes out, we will start again. And it'll be like season two, right? We'll start again. You can track our progress. But for now, let's just give you a tour of everything we've done. Well, I fail at sleeping, apparently. The current build I'm in is really the welcoming house. It's right across from where spawn is. So whenever you spawn in, this is the first thing you see, and we tell people to immediately go in. We tell them this is where you should go. There's food for you, there's armor for you, there's beds for you. You can go inside. There's another portal in the first building, and from there, we sort of give them a tour. So I'm just gonna pretend that's you. I'm gonna pretend you're the one joining the server. The way we first started things off, right, was everyone got their own biome because our sort of spawn area was so close to so many biomes. There was a sort of a lot of islands placed around. There was a swamp biome, there was a plains, there was an iceberg biome, or whatever you call it. There was a mesa biome. I got a forest that was sort of close to an ocean, and that's how we did it. There's going to be some builds that are just going to be abandoned, seeing as we don't have some people joining us again to play on the server, but that's all right. So first off, I'm just trying to show you the sort of dimensions and stuff of the spawn building over here and the sort of architecture that went behind it. And I really tried to go for a sort of French chateau sort of feeling. I really wanted it to feel like you were going into like the Castle of Versailles, but worse in many ways. And I think I did a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say it's the best build in the world. The roof could really use some fixing, but it's not done yet. Nothing in my world is done yet. And I say my world, but it's really our world. And I'll be saying that a lot. I'll be saying nothing is done yet because I'm never truly satisfied with everything I build. So even in this house, there's some undecorated rooms. Right now, we're in the main sort of bedroom, so this is really where you go into sleep. You can have a nice view of what will be the gardens. Those are still a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with those. And you can see sort of a lot of the decorations I've put around. I put a lot of effort into it. You can see the sort of bright yellow walls that really sort of scream out um, sort of Victorian era France. Victorian era France is a bit weird, but you know what I mean. It sort of screams out that time period. You can see here a more dull room. It's more of a meeting place with a lot of chandeliers. I think one of the staples of the sort of Palace of Versailles is really the amount of chandeliers, the amount of gold, the amount of just luxurious decorations they have there. Over here we have a map room, so you can see this map right here is of this area. You can see just how large the house really is. Maps are 128 by 128, I believe, so you can see that the houses encompass quite a large area. And I'm hoping this area around I will encompass and sort of transform and really add to it and make it feel more like the sort of French um, nobleman sort of house that this is already going for it, I suppose. There's still a lot of terraforming that needs to be going on, but all of that in due time, right? So right there, that's the first house, um, which we'll go look at in a second. Over here, we have the sort of tower you can see off on the side. I'm not entirely happy with the way it looks, so I might change it up a bit. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Over here, we have a map of the areas I was telling you about. So we have the iceberg sort of area, and we have the sort of mesa area. All of the biomes, there were a lot of biomes really clustered up, and it was really great. Um, right there, my friend built some beautiful things. Down there, you can see the plains biome. Up there is actually where I started. That's like the sort of forest biome I took up, building some towers, some gardens, village trading halls, some little farms here and there, some cactus farms. Really, really a starter base sort of feel to it. And I'm hoping to fill these walls with even more maps, like maps of my current base and maps of different areas people are going to be building in. Over here, you can see my other friends, sort of mesa construction thing. Over here, you can see a farm project I'm working on. I'll show you that later on. I'm really hoping to encompass a large area and make it like an agricultural hub. Over here we have a little village that needs to be incorporated, but again, all of that in due time. So I guess we're gonna head out. So this area down here, the spawn area, is really to the south of all of these other places, and builds just keep going north. We do have someone who built way down south, but he's no longer playing on the server, at least not at the moment. My build is way up to the north. So here we're going to go take a look at just everything that is in the area. Some little gardens, some bees. I'm hoping to fill this area up with more gazebos. You see here I have a little one. I'm not really happy with the design, so I might change it up. We have some pathways, we have some rose gardens, that sort of thing. And in here, I really wanted to add like the Hall of Columns. And here I have a banner design that I've been working on, but I'm not really sure if I'm happy with it. I might just change it up to the French flag. Um, if we go in here, this is like a dining area. This is like the only room that's decorated in this place. I guess it would be where we welcome the guests. We have a banquet feast, and you can see all the places where I still haven't really decorated and where I need to put string. You just have trapdoors there because that's what I had at hand. I need to figure out a way to get up to the room that has the nether portal. So for now, I just put this spiral staircase in here, and I think it does for now, but I think we'll need to find a better way to do it. And if you have any suggestions, of course, let me know. Here we have, of course, some more chandeliers. This is supposed to be like an art gallery painting, but we're going to be going through to the nether. The nether is supposed to be like a train station sort of nether, um, where it's like you follow the different lines on the ground to get to different stops. These are like refueling stations for ender pearls and rockets, except there are no rockets for various reasons that are very annoying with redstone. Here we have like a piglin bartering farm. It's still not done. It's very recent, very new, so I'm still working on that. But you can see the sort of mess I have with shulker boxes and stuff. Like I said, nothing is ever done. And then all the drops from the piglin farm go into this area, and these shulker boxes are all full. Like I said, I really wanted this area to be sort of like a train station. So you see here we have some sort of overhangs that are supposed to like protect you from the rain, although I don't think there's ever going to be rain in the Nether, although it'd be cool. Maybe like some acid rain, I don't know. But we have some overhangs. I really went for like a sort of Russian style, which is why it's very white, but I think there will be some changes. Down here we have some lines. You can follow those. Right now I need to figure out a better system with those, maybe make a map with it. So that one is actually two lines, and you follow them at the same time to get to your destination. We have a blue line over here, which is actually where we're going to be going, and we're going to be showcasing our first few builds, I suppose. So our first projects are, of course, incomplete, but we're actually going to be arriving at the area of one of my friends. So he's currently in the middle of rebuilding his base and reworking it, and I think he has a fantastic opportunity here with all this flat land to really build something that really speaks to him. And so we're going to be flying by another project I'm working on to sort of look at what one of my friends has built, which is sort of like a statue, and the statue is really an inside joke. And we're going to take a look again at this church I'm building over here. So this church is going to be part of this sort of town that I'm building. I want it to be like a very Victorian town. I want it to be in the same time frame as the chateau. But of course, French chateau, sort of Victorian, doesn't really make much sense. But just go along with it, right? So it's in the same build style, right? And of course, every town, I suppose, needs a church or a place where people can go and congregate and sort of fulfill their religious needs. So that's what I'm currently building on. So you can see probably some sort of French and some English elements there with the church. I mean, I tried to copy the cathedral at Notre Dame with the entrance there, and I'm planning on doing some domes. So over here you can see the sort of town. It's very rough. It's very much still a work in progress, but I'm happy with the way it's coming along. And if you have any criticisms of it, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to hear suggestions. So we're just going to have a regular sort of cobblestone, sort of rock path on the ground because that's very fitting of the era. We might add some carriages. I might have to come up with some designs for those. And you can see the church is really a massive build. I mean, it's taken me quite a few shulker boxes to really get it going. So down here, we're going to be taking a look at what one of my friends is doing, which is just constructing like bunkers under people's bases, and it looks like he has something here waiting for him. But he's just going to be constructing bunkers randomly, and he wants me to find them, which of course he does. Um, I guess he'll put a flush door there later, but for now, I suppose we should probably move on to our next area. And we're going to be really looking over here at my other friend's sort of ice kingdom. She was really going for just, I don't know, she wasn't really going for anything specific to my mind, but I really enjoy her builds. As you can see, she sort of built a stadium, and I'm pretty sure it's from a K-pop music video. And her original home is right here. First, let's take a look at her garden. So I really like the way she just has like a hodgepodge of blocks, and she sort of just incorporated a lot of color into sort of blueness. I really think it complements it very well. I really like the path over here, which actually I came by and put honey hives there because I thought it would look better. I love this area because it's sort of like a Zen garden, but it has like a really cold feel to it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I just really enjoy this build style. Over here is where her original base is at. She's since moved everything to that White House we saw earlier, but you can see she likes to keep trophies of all the villagers she's killed, and she has K-pop lyrics all over the walls, which I think is a really creative element. I mean, really just making the house her own, really putting her passions into Minecraft, and we're gonna ignore that over here. And then here's her to-do list. So she has to make a statue of someone. I'm not really sure who that is, and she has to do a stadium, which she's already done. And she's gonna make a village. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her build those things. If we go down here, we're gonna see a very special room, I suppose. Um, she used to keep her polar bear here, I think, but the polar bear has since moved out, and that's basically her starter home. I really think it was really cool the way she started off by immediately incorporating herself into an iceberg. I really think it was a nice detail. Over here we have the stadium, which I think is really well done. I really enjoy the way this build looks. I like the sort of lack of uniformity with it. I mean, she used quartz, she used concrete, she used snow, and over here we have a polar bear with I'm sorry, we have a panda bear, which I brought over from my area, which is a few thousand blocks away from here. And, I just really love that build. Every time I see it, I'm just like very impressed with what she's done. Over here, she has her mailbox. I think most people have a mailbox, and that's sort of where we leave stuff for each other. That's her first floor. I think that's where she stores most of her stuff. Let's hear that guy. So here we have Howard. So Howard's been with us since the very beginning, and the horse is quite recent, but Howard and the horse always seem to just hang out. They've immediately become best friends, which is lovely to see, and I know they're video game characters or video game entities, so they can't really be best friends, but just go with it, right? So this is where she sleeps. This is her bedroom, which I think it's really cool that she incorporated her bed into being higher up to have a window. I think down there she had some bunnies, but I'm not sure what happened to them. And she just has a cookie framed, which I love nice details like that. Yeah, she just had some bunnies in there, I think, but they got out. She had a way to get up to the roof of the stadium, and we're going to use it as a platform, basically. Here's her portal, and I know she was building something over here at the waterfall, but we're going to skip that, I think. So over here, we're going to be taking a look at another area, which is actually my old area. So remember when I told you all about the towers and stuff, that's what we're going to be taking a look at. And we have a little bridge here, which was built pretty early on, I think, probably in the second day of the server, just to link up our two areas. Nothing really impressive. Originally for this area, I was really going for like a vineyard sort of vibe, but I decided to change it up afterwards. So here we have a villager trading hall, and here's Raja, which is one of the pets I've had since the very beginning of the season. I think he's almost as old as the season itself. Um, there we have a random sign. Over here we have where my base, or where I actually stayed at, which in here we have cows, and I still come by to use this place once in a while, and oh boy, it's noisy, right? In here is actually the main house, and I really went for like a sort of just, I don't know, I don't really know what I was thinking when I built this area, but we're right there. There's a village trading hall. There's the gardens, which were bush berries. There's some farms, some cactus and sweet berries, some pumpkin farms. Used to have a smelt tree up there. Some other stuff down there, and then that's where our portal was. And that build is actually the first thing I built on the server, so let's go take a look at that. And I don't know what I was really thinking. I think I was trying to make it look like a ruin, maybe like something someone left behind from another civilization or another settlement. But it didn't really turn out that great. I'm not that happy with it, but it works for what it is, I suppose. I mean, I'm not going to change it now. It's a relic. And then over here we have these towers, and we just have the rest of the area, which, I mean, there's not much to see. It's not really something I'm going to go back to or really change in any way, seeing as it's been so long and I have other projects I'm working on. So you can see the sort of gardens over here, and you can see a seating area. Don't mind the redstone, the netherrack and line thing. It's not gonna stay there forever. But over here we have my friend's castle, and I really enjoy this build as well. So going in here, we're gonna see a couple of things. First off the bat, you're gonna see the throne, the golden throne, which I actually gifted him the gold to do that. And we're just gonna get rid of these guys real quick. My aiming is not on point today. My apologies. I'm not really good at combat, so we're just gonna ignore the fact I failed to shoot that guy twice. Down here we have some different builds. Over here is where he would sleep, and I'm just gonna try and avoid these guys. He's missing a bed. I'll go bring him one. He is currently playing on the server, not as of me recording this, but he is active. Over here we have a chest room, and I really like the way he incorporated the armor stands into it. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of him sort of showing off what he has. Nothing leads down here yet, but I'm sure one day he'll expand. He'll expand out, and I know he had some plans to sort of build a village over here. So we're just gonna fly out of it real quick and take a look at the outside, and I really enjoy the way it looks. If we go this way, I think one of the reasons we decided not to move the world is because we got such a lucky seed. So if we come down here, you'll actually see we have the dungeon, and I'm planning to remodel this, make it sort of like an aqua town. And this is a relic as well. So it's the simp bell, and we would just get on calls and stuff, and if someone said something that, as the meme goes, makes him a simp, we would just ring the bell. And we still have some stuff over here actually. Not much has changed here. I mean, most people just come by, get into the portal, and just leave. Over here we have the original enchanting station. So this place was really helpful during our first few days. Over here we have the portal itself, and of course we have another tunnel here, or not another tunnel, but another portal here to be able to go back and forth. So let's get out of this place and let's go check out the next build. So over here we have a failed iron farm, and we're just gonna ignore that because we're gonna head over to sort of one of the first things I built on the server, which is sort of like a meeting island. I built this after one of our server members left us. We had sort of a falling out, and he sort of left the server. So I built this in his island, and I terraformed the place to make it look better in my opinion. So we have a little tree here. We have some quartz, and getting quartz very early on was very difficult and very tedious. So for me, it was kind of like a project that I had to do. And if we keep going this way, we'll go to someone else's base. Another friend of mine who was playing on the server earlier today, actually. Um, so this area over here, I decided to convert it over to Blackstone and really cover it up in Blackstone because I like the idea of having like the black hills and then having a lot of white buildings on top of it. I don't know, it sort of made the white buildings pop out, and I like the idea of the black hills having them covered in snow. I'm not sure. I thought it was be interesting, and you can see here where I still have to go and wrap it around. But so far, 4 shulker boxes of blackstone has really not been enough, and I just love the way it looks. I love the feel of it. It just has such a nice feel. And the tower over here, I'm not sure if it's gonna stay the same. I'm not really a fan of the way it looks. Over here is my friend's old base. We're not gonna look too much into it, but I really like the fact he incorporated it into the mountain. Um, I know he's planning to do sort of a modern house, so I'm very interested to see in what he's gonna do there. And if we go into the nether, we can see um, where his portal links up, and we can go head to our next location. So over here, we're going to be heading to my project, my major project, my home as well. So we're gonna follow the brown line of the nether, and we're just gonna take the boat all the way over. Uh, these Boat tunnels, I really want to change the way they look so you can fly through them as well. But for now, I guess it's fine. We also have some soul sand and some soul speed boots. So there's really a lot of variability onto how you can get over. Um, I don't want to make it so it's just like everyone has to use an elytra, everyone has to use a boat, because what if they don't have a boat at hand, or an elytra at hand? They can use the soul sand, or they can just walk through the tunnel. So going through here, we're going to be arriving in the lower part of my home. A lot of memories in here, a lot of empty space as well that needs to get filled up, but we can fly around and we can see the way it looks. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I built it quite a while ago, when concrete was very much still a commodity, a very high priced commodity, I should say. And I sort of made this uneven, jungly looking staircase up to it from the river. It's very lackluster on the inside, but all in due time. I mean, I don't really spend much time in my home, and I'm sure most people understand that in Minecraft. And over here we had a temporary wart farm. We had like a little piano design I made. Um, Nothing grand really. Over here we had another one. We might do something with that design. And of course we have a map of the area so you can see sort of where everything is. And I really enjoy the jungle. I really enjoy building the jungle. It's my favorite biome. So the second we found it, I just decided I gotta move out here. And you can see here's the house, and here we have the surrounding buildings. And I'm trying to make it so everything here is inspired from sort of Russian buildings, but we'll get more into that later. So we have a few towers. We have what is modeled after an Olympic swim stadium, or the building of an Olympic swim stadium. We have another tower up here. Up north, we have the warehouse, and the warehouse is really important because that's really where most people get their stuff. Over here, we have some other buildings that aren't really as relevant, as well as down there. And over here, we have what is basically the industrial district, and really one of the most important parts of the world, because we have a string farm, a bone farm, we have kelp farms, we have a smelter, we have ways to supply our food. And I'm thinking later down the line, we're going to get rid of some of these things and we're going to move them elsewhere just to create less lag. That area is very laggy, and I sort of regret concentrating the farms there, but for now I suppose it works. If we go up here, we can see probably my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of the server, which is my parrot. I got this parrot in the very beginning, the second I arrived at the jungle, and it's been with me ever since. And if you know who Michael Parenti is, good for you. I'm a big fan of Michael Parenti. So let us fly out and let us just have a quick overview of the jungle. We're gonna land on these leaves that are decaying over here and take a look at the builds I was telling you about. It's nothing grand, it's nothing perfect, but you can see this build over here. It's still a work in progress, and of course, the interiors aren't done yet. The windows aren't even done yet, which that's a bit embarrassing. I thought I did them, but either way, it's alright. Getting that much quartz was a lot of a pain, but not as much anymore, thanks to the piglin bartering stations. And down here we have the warehouse where we keep a lot of stuff, and we have shulker unloaders, we have storage systems, we have empty shulker boxes for people to use, we have food, we have pretty much all the commodities that people need, and especially dyes. Dyes are all over the back wall over there. We have some ice. It took me a long time to get that much blue ice, a very long time. A lot of icebergs had to be destroyed for that. And over here we have the concrete, we have some random mess. This place is not done yet. And of course we have a lot going for it. I mean, we have bone blocks over here for anyone who needs it. The dyes, like I was saying, in the back. I am very happy with the way the warehouse turned out. I mean, it's very useful, and I think it really brings out one of the core messages of the server that I really want to share with people, which is that it's all about having fun. And to me, gathering resources isn't that much fun, and I know it's not that much fun for my other friends as well. So I wanted to make the warehouse a place where they could go and just get all the resources they need, and I'm still working on getting more and more resources for them so they can just come by and get what they need. So gravel and sand, that's all the gravel and sand they'll probably ever need is right there. Like I said, we have the concrete and the terracotta, we have the storage system right here where the shulker boxes get filled up, then we go put them into the main like bulk shelves, I suppose you call them. But other than that, there's not much else to see in the warehouse. Now we're going to be flying out of the warehouse to see what I think Lord of the Rings fans and really fans of The Hobbit are going to really enjoy about this server, which is, in my opinion, the crown jewel, my favorite build, and I may be a little biased because, of course, I built it, but it is the Tower of Orthanc, and I know someone in the comments is going to say, probably no one in the comments is going to say this, but why didn't I build it out of Blackstone? Well, I didn't have Blackstone back then. I built it the second week of the server, I want to say, and I really had a lot of fun building this, and I had a lot of fun incorporating a game into it, which I'm hoping we'll be able to play with friends later on in another episode. This episode is getting a bit lengthy though, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. And if you stuck all the way through, I mean, congrats. It's a lot to watch. So at this point, I really should be wrapping up the video. And I just want to thank you for making it all the way through and sort of telling you that this is going to evolve. We're going to make things better. We're going to make things faster. I have a lot of things I'm working on. So if a video doesn't sort of get out anytime soon, don't lose hope. I'm working on it. I really want this to be a weekly thing, but I really need to fit it into my schedule. I'm really trying to have fun with this. If you enjoyed the video, that's great. I'm very happy. If you're interested in the world, I'm very happy of that as well. And I'm so happy with the way things are turning out so far, and I'm really looking forward to this sort of series and showing off the builds my friends do and showing off the funny moments or the interesting moments that we have. And I really hope you'll enjoy it as well. And I'm hoping you'll join us for that. For now, though, I guess it's time to say goodbye and thank you.